joining me today. I'm Janice Baylor, and we are going to make another great drop-in art project today. And I want to say a great big thank you to Perry County Council of the Arts for continuing our drop-in art program virtually. Today we are going to make a really fun cactus paperweight project. So we need a few fun home supplies, and I will show you how to make the project. So here are your supplies you'll need coming right up. For today's project, the little rock cactus paperweight, you will need either some small little pots. You can usually find these at a craft shop or sometimes in the Walmart craft section, or alternately, if you don't have that or don't want to use that, I also have a can from like a cat food, so you could do it totally recycled. You'll need some medium to large sized just driveway rocks or rocks from outside, whatever you can find. Ask before you take though, double check. You'll need some colors of just craft paint in a variety of greens, maybe a light and a dark, maybe like a cream or a yellow, and then I also have a golden brown. You'll need to have a little bit of paper to put down to protect your work surface because we're going to paint, an assortment of paint brushes, or you could use your fingers depending on how messy you want to be. And so all you need to do is take your big rock and give it a nice base coat of your darker paint color or your lighter one. You can do it however you like. And we're just going to paint the entire surface of the rock. And the fun thing about this is that you can transform these into really cute looking cacti, and rocks just kind of naturally have a similar shape. I'm just going to move my paint over here where you can see it a little bit better. And you can see it really doesn't take much paint to do one, but you can do a few of these and make yourself a fun little cactus garden. Maybe you don't have a great green thumb, or maybe you don't have a great place in your house to grow things, or are limited on space, or don't want to get prickled by real cacti, but you love the look. So then you can do these fun ones. So after you give your rock a base coat, you'll want to set that aside and let it dry. So just for the purpose of moving our project along on film today, I've already done these two over here. And then to add the little highlights and lowlights, you can either use your finger and just kind of gently dab along some of the raised areas, or you can use what is called a dry brushing technique, where you just barely get a little bit of paint and pull it just lightly across those areas, and that gives the same effect. But I actually think using my finger is working pretty well for this. So I'm just going to keep going, kind of layering, and that adds a little bit more dimension to your rock. So instead of having it just the one flat color, you're adding in these layers of color that make it look more realistic to like a plant, because plants usually aren't just one flat color. So now you can really see some of the features of the rock. And that's really fun. Just don't overdo it, because you don't want to take it all the way back to just the one color. But you can see here how I now have a bunch of different like highlights and lowlights just by adding a little few dabs of paint in some spots. And then you could keep going. You could add a little bit more. Like I said, though, you want to just go sparingly. So maybe with every color that you add, just do a little bit less of that color. Just adding those layers to give that visual interest. Okay, so I think we'll be stopping there with that part. And then to add the prickles, like a cactus would have prickles, we're just going to take the brown paintbrush and make little V details. We need a little bit more paint. So like a little V detail, just in a few spots here and there, like a cactus would have. a few of its prickly spines coming up. So just really lightly. If you don't have a paintbrush, a really small paintbrush, you could use a toothpick and just use the tip of that to make your details. Just go a few on each side. You don't need to overdo it. I just think making them look like V's is pretty close to what a cactus would look like. Just do a few on each side. Until you filled it in a bunch. It's looking pretty cute. I think I got everywhere. Maybe one more up here. Touch that one up a little bit. So whatever look you like, whatever looks realistic to you. And then I have taken my can here, and I've also got a paper bag, and to add some faux dirt, I just ripped a piece of the paper and then wadded it up and put it in here to make it look like dirt without having dirt. But if you wanted to, you could use sand to get the same effect. And then you can just tuck your cactus rock in there and secure it with a little bit of glue so it stays in place. Or mine's kind of balancing pretty good. You can add one or more. It might be fun to have more than one, so you have a little outcropping of them. And there you go. A really cute homemade cactus paperweight. So enjoy making your garden, friends. Stay creative.